guys, we're back here with our GZ250, and this is just going to be a little video about starting out on small bikes of a different setup. I'm going to try this new mount. I have the camera mounted pretty much on the chin of the helmet, so hopefully that will change the camera angle and look a little bit better for you guys. So basically, this bike has been, I don't know, to me at least, the best learner bike to be on. Just because it literally is great for getting around town. It's not intimidating if you've never been on a bike before. This is definitely the easiest user-friendly thing. You know, it doesn't have a lot of torque, which we'll get to all that performance stuff later. This does not have the power, of course, because it's a little 250, even though the bike is about 300 some odd pounds. So with me on it, it's almost 500 pounds. And it is a lightweight bike. You're going to get blown around if you're going to ride on the highway. But as far as learning, you're not going to flip this bike. It's not going to be scary. It's very low to the ground. And for me personally, this was the bike that basically really got me going. Just because it started out on the 450, the Nighthawk, and that was, I wouldn't say intimidating. I mean, it was my first bike, so a little bit intimidating, which there's nothing wrong with that. The problem too for me was that bike, since it was a UJM, Universal Japanese motorcycle, so it was a little bit higher off the ground, just like the GZ250 that I have right now. So for me, it was a little bit, I guess, you know, I was standing on my tippy toes, so because I didn't do anything about the shock or anything like that, so I didn't lower the rear end like I did on the 550. So that was a bit of an issue. For this, it's such a low seat height, you know, smaller riders or new riders and stuff like that, you're not going to have that much of an issue. Now, they say it's cooler, and they say it's more fun to ride slow bike fast than a fast bike slow, I guess. I do have something interesting I'm working on for hopefully the next vid, when it gets a little bit nicer out. You can start doing some real decent riding videos, some longer videos, or just some traveling videos, which I want to do, because this bike, of course, is not going to be a traveling bike, and the 550, I might hold off on that for a bit. Just have to get the paperwork done and whatnot, and to get it all road legal and whatnot, but yeah, and also still have to fix the speedo in the deck for that thing. So back to this bike. You're not going to have any passing power, realistically, on this bike, except for on these back roads where, you know, the max speed is going to be, you know, 55 or something like that. And it is light, so you're going to get blown around. But it is fun, I find, that if you tuck in a little bit, you will eke out a little bit more top end. So my biggest complaint with this bike is pretty much, I think, the weight. Like, it just feels, and I really noticed this after going from the 550 and a 700 down to this bike. This thing feels like a moped when you come off a bigger bike. Now, I mean, that makes it a little bit more flickable, and it's kind of fun on these back roads, but it just doesn't have enough weight for me. I don't know why. I just like the extra weight. It just gives me more of a counterbalance, I guess. I'm not sure. And also, too, I mean, the front tire on this thing is pretty wide, so handling-wise, it's not meant for taking corners at speed, of course, because it's a cruiser style. So, you know, I'm guessing that I haven't ridden the Honda Rebel, but since it's got a narrower tire, that seems it probably has a little slightly better handling, I guess. But The other thing I find that's funny is after working on the 550 for so long, this thing has basically just been, I mean, I've kind of neglected it. I don't know why. It just kind of just, you know, that redheaded stepchild that you take out, beat around, ride like you probably shouldn't on this thing. Like, but, yeah. So, you know, it's just like the 550 feels, you know, because everything's brand new basically on this. This thing had a janky clutch lever since I got it, and now I did manage to fix it somewhat. It's a little bit. Let's see. No, it's a little bit crisper now, so it's not like, I don't know, limp dick and swinging in the wind, but it is. I don't know. Everything about this bike is kind of loose, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Um, Stuff I've found is, you know, if you're gonna start on like a 250, well, first of all, of course, it depends on your rider size. If you're some fat, really big fucker, you know, 6'10" plus, whatever, you know, don't get one of these little bikes and stuff like that. You're gonna hate it. The Ninjas, well, they'll probably do well for most people. I think the top speed is like 90 and stuff, so you'll have power enough to be on the highway. This thing is not gonna, it's not gonna take you anywhere. Even on the back roads, it's kind of just, I don't know. It's not really that much. But like I said, the Rebels and stuff like that. If you've never ridden a bike, definitely get yourself a 250 or a dual sport. I haven't ridden the WR 250R or any of those. Um, but the more I am used to like the more upright position on the 550, and frankly, I could see that being a lot better than something like this, at least for long-term use and stuff like that. This bike is, interestingly enough, I finally did come up with a name for this bike, which I'm not really into naming my vehicles, but do have to say, she's Old Faithful. Really, Faith, really? I come up with a name for this bike right as I'm seeing about to sell it, pretty much. I'm getting rid of this bike. But anyways, this was a short little ride video because it's about to rain and I'm about to get soaked on this piece of shit. Peace out. I shall see you on the next ride.